Apparently I don't have sound.
It's okay.
Without my sound being on.
Okay.
I was like, this is very Charlie Chaplin of us.
It's
I'm trying.
Hey guys, welcome to the Smokin N Jokin show. My name is Beth King, also known as the Crayon Eater's wife.
I am Lex Bonilla.
Go ahead, Zach.
Sorry. Go ahead, Beth. I'll let you.
No, it's your turn to introduce yourself.
There you go. I am Lex Bonilla, aka Mental Warrior 22.
And I'm your resident Jim, aka Jimmy King.
Also our former IT guy.
Yeah, former IT guy of the show. I just got fired by me.
Keyword former.
Tonight's show we got Quentin Gray back on with us. Quentin, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good. Glad to have you back on the show. Before we get too far into talking with you and going into it, one, I'd like to thank everybody for watching the show with us tonight. For those of you who may have already joined in, if you could highlight in the comments, it'd be greatly appreciated. Let people know we're out here putting on a show, passing on some information, trying to put a smile on your face. Yeah, so I guess we'll jump right into buddy checks. Lex, how you doing tonight or this week?
Oh, this week. Yeah, this week has been a shit show. Got a boot on my foot from breaking a couple of toes. So that was fun.
I saw the boot, but I didn't know you broke toes too. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so that's no good deed goes unpunished. I help a neighbor who he dropped his keys in the parking lot down the drain. We removed the manhole cover. He got his keys, but when we were putting the lid back, he couldn't hold his end. It swung around, hit my big toe, and I heard a crunch, bruised the rest of my foot, and that was a wrap.
Ow. I think I do remember you telling me about doing that. I didn't realize you had broken your toes though too. That's hard, but I did see you working out, so I see you're not letting it keep you down. So
nope, mama ain't raised no bitch.
Can't nobody take my toes.
She raised me. No. She raised a fool, but not a bitch.
How about you, Jimmy?
Oh, well, besides getting fired from my IT job, things have been going pretty good today, this week. Had a fun-filled weekend as far as it goes. I got to be home with the kids, basically by myself and with the buddy that's staying with us. Beth went out of town on me.
I laughed.
And, well, we haven't hit 12-minute mark, so I'll restrain that comment. Never mind. But me and a buddy went over to another buddy's house and got some ink therapy while she was gone, so that was good.
Yeah.
Had a new arm piece, the American one way, and then if you look at it the other way, well, I can't turn my arm that far, but if you look at it the other way, it says veteran one way and American the other. It's an ambigram. So that was pretty cool. Shout out to Joe Ortiz. Thanks Joe for the great ink.
Yeah, he does all our ink. He actually threw me a birthday party and gave all my friends free tattoos. So he's a great guy.
Other than that, loving technology until I hate it. I'm good. Why don't you tell us about your
I had a really long but amazing week. As everybody knows, Jimmy and I do volunteer work with Project Refit. We have our own chapter here in North Carolina, Crayons by the Fire. But this weekend I got to take a little step further and get a little bit more insight in what they do. They've started doing women's female veteran retreats, and it was absolutely amazing. Went down to Patriot Point, which is a wonderful facility. It offers its space up to different veterans organizations for retreats and relaxation. I got to meet 10 amazing women, and obviously I'm not a veteran. I'm a caregiver, so I was really, really humbled that they allowed me in their space. All the women came with like open minds and open hearts, and you know, it was a real sisterhood. We shared a lot of hard stuff that we have dealt with and what's led us to where we are today. And, you know, we all listened to each other and supported each other. And I love that because that's one of my main passions is our female veterans. They don't get the recognition and don't have the programs as much as the male veterans do. So anytime I can support that and be part of that, it was absolutely amazing. Monica, who actually put it all together and was the main facilitator, put on a great program. She had us have some real talks around the fire, and you know, if we needed to be held accountable for certain parts of situations and take responsibility, she really wasn't afraid to point that out, but do it with like love and like respect and understanding, not coming from a place of judgment or to make you feel less than. I don't think any of the women that walked away from that retreat walked away disappointed, or if anything, I think we all readily agreed that we all walked away with something. And even I did. I was able to, you know, kind of take some things that I had been dealing with personally or have dealt with for a while personally, and finally been able to like close that door. So that was really amazing on the last night. So we had a really great time. And now Jimmy and I are getting ready for our first event. We're doing our first fundraising event, I should say. We've done several fireside chats, but this is our first fundraiser event. There was a Marine veteran who was going through a really hard time. He just lost his wife. He's a Vietnam veteran. And James, the founder of Project Refit, you know, had gotten contacted and was asked to go see him. So he did, and they talked. And one of the things he shared was every day since he's left Vietnam, he's woken up to the same face. And that it was the guy that was in charge with him, the guy that saved his life, the guy that died saving his life. And he hadn't been able to unpack that and really be able to, you know, that was his PTSD. I mean, I don't know how you unpack something like that. But one of his final wishes, because he is elderly, he is sick, was to go to the wall for the Marine Corps birthday. So we are putting money together to not only take him down to Washington, D.C. to go to the wall and find the gentleman's name on the wall, but as well as
There's his gunny.
his gunny. Yeah, sorry, I couldn't remember the rank, and I'm sitting here thinking, and I didn't want to misspeak. His gunny, to go visit his name on the wall, and we're also surprising him with a bunch of other veterans. Because that's the main thing about Project Refit. We want to break the isolation. We want to combat what veterans often do and people with PTSD often do is retreat. So this way we can give him a bigger network that can really help him like unpack all the things he's going through and also dealing with the loss of his wife. So I'm really excited about that. I really hope we have a great turnout and we can raise lots of money so that we can make this guy's dream come true. Oh, one of the other things James did, he wanted, and we were able to do for this veteran, is he's been searching for this gentleman's family for years, ever since. And he's never been able to find them. In 18 hours, James was not only able to find the family, but they were able to put them in contact with the niece of the gunny, was able to put him, his name was Michael, I do remember that, was able to put them in contact, and he was able to talk to the niece and tell him his story about how her uncle saved his life. So I'm just really proud to be part of this organization and be able to see these amazing transformations go through with different veterans and female and male alike.
So if anybody's in driving distance of Rocky Mount and you want to come this way, November 1st, the Rocky Mount Moose Lodge is where we'll be. Throwing sacks and holes.
Yeah. Oh, Jimmy.
Oh man, I almost made the 12-minute mark.
Well, you didn't cuss, so you did, technically.
I think I messed that up like opening.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so did you want to really quick do a quick commercial and then we'll get straight into Quentin?
Sure. Once again, thank you everybody for joining us here in the Smoke Pit. Again, if you haven't already, if you could highlight in the comments, it'd be greatly appreciated. Let people know we're out here putting on a show and telling everybody about Quentin's movie coming up. But in the meantime, give me 1 second here. For those of you who are avid coffee drinkers, head over to Arrow Resupply Coffee. I can't tell if they're QR code in the corner or not. They've got some great coffees, great teas. They've actually got some really cool gear as well.
Yeah,
as
shirts
far as
and
it
mugs.
goes.
They've got some interesting
They've got some
ones.
great t-shirts, great hoodies. They've got some great coffee and some great tea. And if you use the promo code Smokin N Jokin 365 ! Which we will put in the comments here in a minute. It'll get you 20% off, and a portion of the proceeds of the sales will go to the Smokin N Jokin show, so you'll be supporting us as well. They are a veteran-owned business based out of Virginia, and yeah. And for anybody who's looking to start their own business, improve their business, sell their services to the government, start their own organization, reach out to Artias at yesrts.com. Oh, I'm sorry, Aerial Resupply. There's the QR code. If you want to scan that, it'll take you straight to the site. Once again, Smokin N Jokin 365 ! For the promo code. Back to Artias. Artias is great. These guys will help you improve your business, start your own business, sell your services to the government, get some of them government contracts. They would break it down Barney style, keep it simple, stupid, and hold your hand through the entire process as far as that goes. So, QR code, Artias. There we go. Sorry, I had to read. Old man eyes. I had to lean forward there.
I'm still wrong order. Yep, there.
There we go. Scan the QR code, get set up an appointment with them. These guys are great. They walk you through everything. I can't praise them enough because they've helped us build our 501c. We're still working on funding for the federal side of it, but we have been approved through the state, and they walked us through everything. So reach out to Artias, yesrts.com. Sorry that took a little longer than normal. I apparently haven't eaten enough grounds today. Quentin, give us a quick background. You were in the Navy, got out, you're living in a Macau now, so give us a quick rundown, and then tell us about this new movie.
Sure. So I was in the Navy for about 8 years, and I was a FMF corpsman. So those entire 8 years, I was attached to the Corps. After I separated, I came out to Macau. I had a girlfriend at the time, and my wife, and I've been living overseas. I think this February will mark 19 years in Macau. So it's been a long road in Asia for about 3 years. I grew up really loving movies and doing a little bit of acting as a child. And I became a teacher for a while here in Macau for, I think, about 13 years. About 4 years ago, I got back into acting just by chance, really, during COVID. And I did my first feature film I shot in 2022 called The Violin Case. And then immediately after, I went to UK to shoot a horror film called The Blade Cuts Deeper that I executive produced and I co-star in. I grew up on horror since I think that I saw A Nightmare on Elm Street when I was in 3rd grade. So I was like 7 years old. And I mean, which is quite normal for my generation. I guess that's why we're all kind of screwed up. I have no idea. It's probably more than that. But so yeah, I flew all the way out to the UK, became an executive producer. We shot the film it took about 2 weeks, so quite quick. One thing that we're really proud about is that it's an extremely low budget film. I think it cost in US dollars, I think 20K. And what we're really proud about that is the fact that it doesn't look like we spent 20K on the film.
It doesn't look like a B-rated low budget movie.
Yeah, it's, I think the biggest thing that comes off that people might be able to tell it's low budget is just kind of the locations that we have. I mean, having a bigger budget, it buys time, it buys location and other things. But we're super, super proud. We won an award just recently for the best new film at the Phantasmagoria Film Festival in the UK. And we were also nominated for Best Thrill of the Year by the National Film Award in England as well. We didn't win, but it was so neat to be recognized for that. So
and they are nominated to be part of it. I think is an honor in itself.
Absolutely. We're totally stoked. And the film is releasing next month. It's available for pre-order now on Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, Walmart, and I think the Boston Public Library, which is strange. The Boston Public Library would have it. But the Blu-ray is great for anybody that really still loves physical media like I do. There's something inherently great about opening it, looking at the artwork and sliding the disc in and pushing play for us older guys. It will also be available streaming on Amazon Prime and probably a few others. Probably November 18th. We're kind of on the fence on that because it actually was out on Prime already, but somebody jumped the gun on Amazon and I think they put it out too early, so they've since taken it off. It's still within the listing system.
I saw that, and because I think our friend Duff had already ordered it.
Yeah,
so he's actually seen it and gotten behind the scenes and knows all the good news. But I saw that it got pulled, and you guys were resetting it. So.
Yeah, the apparently that's not uncommon, and somebody probably over at Amazon just didn't check the release date and hit start on it, which is kind of good because it built a little bit of buzz. So we're okay with it. We were just kind of scrambling to figure out what happened here because people did want to watch it and they were sending me texts and look, it's not showing up. I'm like, that's strange. But it will be available on Amazon for rent, $4.99. And if you want to purchase it on Amazon, it's $9.99. So it doesn't really break the bank. Be great for everybody to take a look at it and give, and get online to IMDb or Amazon and write a review, whether you like it or not. There'll be people out there that don't like it, which is fine. And there'll be people out there that do like it. And we need all the reviews, good and bad. It helps the algorithm. So if you do watch it, please try your best to rate it and write a review if you could. It would be very helpful to us. We'd be very appreciative.
All right. I'm not good at doing that sometimes, so I'm glad you told me that because now I will make sure I do that.
Wonderful.
Before we go too much farther, Quentin, give us just a sec pause. Lex, you want to catch us up on a few of the comments, and then
why don't we play the trailer?
I was going to say that we can watch the trailer and look at the photos. After Lex catches up.
Right. Me too.
Wow, so glad you thought of it, Beth. All right, so first let me say welcome to everyone who's joining us. Everyone from Leanne, Tisha, Matt. We got Patricia, Lexi, Danielle. We have all that. And then we started talking about the retreat, right? So Theo said he's going to the retreat. That's pretty much most of it. Listen, everything else was them having inside jokes and inside comments. And, the one serious thing Theo mentioned is survivor's guilt is real. And my heart goes out to all of our vets who have to deal with it. And that's pretty much it in a nutshell.
Hi, guys. Well, thank you guys, everybody, for joining us. Letitia, Lexi, Matt, yeah, all of you guys. Thank you so much for coming out, showing us support for Quentin. And so now Jimmy can play the trailer.
Oh yeah, sorry, I gotta switch mouses here.
That's what she said.
Bear with me as like I said, I got fired as the IT guy, so
he was a DEI hire.
Mute our mic.
Oh, really?
And
Thank you. Why is it in me? We all walked away to something, and even I did. That was awesome. So Quentin, give us a little rundown of what the movie's actually about and what role you played.
Sure. So this is it's essentially a slasher film, and it's shot and heavily influenced by something that's called giallo style, and giallo is horror, Italian horror essentially, and Italian horror deals with certain horror tropes that are different from other Western horror films. Dario Argento and filmmakers like that who did the film Demons and Suspiria. And the filmmaker, who's also my friend, Gene Dolders, is heavily influenced by Italian cinema, and he's a big horror freak. So it revolves around a narcissistic TV host, and the film, without being too serious, with asking questions, it kind of asks the questions: does consequences, what we put out there into the world or into the stratosphere, particularly on the internet and on TV, what are the consequences of that? And so the film centers around John, who's a narcissistic host, and he's kind of got under a dude's skin. Guy's not happy, and kind of takes a little bit of revenge. So it's a bit of a revenge film. And like I said, we shot it in 2 weeks in Liverpool, in the UK. And we tried to really bring a lot of mood into this, and I really think that we did a great job. We're super proud of it. We're proud of all the actors and all the crew. We probably had about, off the top of my head, quite a small crew, maybe 15 people. Which is very small. I worked on a film last year here in Macau for Netflix, and I think we had a crew of 100 or something.
I just watched that film you're talking about too.
I just watched it last night myself. It was interesting.
I was getting ready to ask you to talk about that a little bit. So
if you are interested in watching a film that I was involved with, I'm not in it. My scenes got cut, but that is now streaming on Netflix, called The Ballad of a Small Player. I'll plug that too with The Blade as well. Give that a look. But we're super excited to put The Blade out to the world.
Colin Farrell.
Got my T-shirt. So
there you go.
Yeah. So if you're a fan of horror and if you love slashers in the vein of like 80s style, one thing that I really like about our movie is that it does have that 80s feel, and it has that kind of George Romero, who did Night of the Living Dead, Return of the Living Dead, and the Tobe Hooper film feel of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and and Dario Argento, which is the Italian maestro, so to speak. So if you really like old school horror, and if you like British cinema, with a twist, please check us out.
I can't wait to watch it. Because when you were talking about, you saw your first Freddy Krueger movie. I was that kid too. Like, I didn't watch cartoons. I didn't watch stuff like that. I watched Alfred Hitchcock. And then I also, every weekend, was allowed to rent one movie, and it was always a scary movie. So I went through, like, from Alfred Hitchcock, I was born in the 70s. So this is probably the 80s that I started watching horror films, but all the Alfred Hitchcock shows and movies before that, as well as Freddy Krueger, Jason, and all of those classics popped up when we were kids. So I completely understand that passion for horror films.
Oh, that's great. It's pure. I think horror films, for a lot of us, particularly within our generation, Beth, at least me and my friend Gene, who directed this film, it's just kind of pure escapism,
Yeah.
That most of it's ridiculous, and the chance of any of it really happening is pretty slim. Not that things like that doesn't really happen in real life. Obviously it does, but you're in the comfort of your own home watching something, and for me anyways, is I'm usually, even with bad horror films, I'm generally even somewhat entertained, so I always know what I'm gonna get.
I mean,
so it's kind of my default. So
your movie there looks at least quite a bit better, in my opinion, than something along the lines of, speaking of classic horror films, like The Toxic Avenger or.
Oh gosh.
Great film though. I love that movie back in the day. I have not seen the remake, but the older original was that, that's kind of like campy comedy horror, which is interesting because there's so many different genres within the genre of horror. You have zombie horror, you have vampire horror, you have slashers, you have the paranormal, and then you have the switch over between comedy and horror, which is great. You get a little bit of the horror and the comedy, and that makes a good fusion, I think. There's not much humor in ours. There's some sarcasm, but I think our film, it definitely leans into it's quite brutal in a few scenes, to be honest with you.
So that hardcore, more gruesome type.
I think Lex is.
Now, do you mean brutal as in gruesome, or brutal as in just the lengths they will go as far as?
I think a little bit of both. I think for a lot of people this day and age, it's not quite as. It's gory, but it's not as quite as gory as some of the stuff's out there. I think what I mean by brutal is the circumstances behind it and the action and the motive behind it. And in a sense, you know, you kind of have empathy for characters in this film that you probably wouldn't expect that you would have empathy for. By the time it's over, you may be rooting for people that, you know, you don't expect to root for in a normal film. So,
hey, Quentin, so Theo says that he'd like to pitch a horror movie to you called The Mother-in-Law.
Mother-in-law. Okay.
Yeah.
Tell him to hit me up.
I don't have one of those, so I don't know how that would go.
Quentin, since you're into the producing side as well, I've got 2 movies for you. One would be both would be starring Lex. It would be horror and then comedy horror. So you've got Jodi versus Dependopotamus Rex.
Oh gosh.
And then Jodi finally goes to boot camp.
Ooh. I don't know if Jodi would make it through boot camp, my friend. You know, that you know, you know, that would be a Full Metal Jacket, you know, thing with the soap and the towels, you know, like they did the you know, Private Pile, I think, and whatnot. But I think that's a 5-minute movie, bro.
Listen, I'm the guy. I'm the guy that gets killed. You know, the one in the house doing the soft porn part. That's.
Ooh. And that's a classic 80s horror trope is, you know, the teenagers having sex and, you know, the old Friday the 13th or the Michael Myers Halloween films, which unfortunately we do not have in our film, but we do make it up with some good, with a couple of good gruesome kills. So if you like gruesome kills and you like practical effects, there is no CGI in this film. Some visual effects were, of course, done post just to kind of clean up a few things here and there, but it's all practical effects.
You know, I love those horror movies. Unfortunately, like when I was a kid, I've seen all the Nightmare on Elm Streets and all those things, but I'm the youngest of my family, right? So when I was a kid, my brothers would wait till my mom left the house and they would push me in the closet, close the door, and play all the music. So I grew up actually believing that shit was real. And as I got older now, like those Texas Chainsaw type movies, those to me, like now I enjoy watching those because it feels real, like that could happen. Any movie like that feels like, oh shit, this can happen. But the slasher movies to me, it's a classic. I always go back to those. I always like watching, like someone mentioned, Theo mentioned Rob Zombie's Halloween.
Yeah.
You know, that stuff is awesome.
Well, I think you, one of the kings of horror is what you just mentioned there, which is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And the cool thing about that film is that was a completely low budget independent film as well, too. Yeah. And I think independent horror is sometimes some of the best. I think, you know, it's great to have a $20 million or $80 million budget for a film. You know, having a bigger budget allows you better locations, better talents, better special effects. And then the most important thing is it allows you more time. And time is really what can help make a movie. Otherwise, you're shooting really quickly and you know, you have to make as much as what you can with what you have in that short amount of time. But I think there's a bit of a renaissance right now with horror, A, but B, with independent horror, because I think there's a lot of big budget horror films out there now that just really aren't hitting as much as the independent lower budget films.
Yeah, they're not like they used to be. I remember, like, as ridiculous as some of the things may be, it still felt like it was possible. It still felt real. I like to scare myself, honestly. When I was a kid, I'd watch, you know, Freddy Krueger or Poltergeist. And my bathroom had a window in the shower. So if you didn't turn the light, and there was a tree right there. And if you didn't turn the light on, the tree would look all crazy, like it would grab you. I used to purposely scare myself by not turning lights on. I still do that to this day.
I think I think that a big problem with the movies today is that they're not scary anymore. A lot of the movies that they make today are more jump scare focused, but it just seems very like it's just back in the days there was the jump scare, but
Yeah.
they kind of led you into that, right?
Yeah.
Right. And it was that suspense, like, all right, what's gonna happen? Nowadays, it's just they try to make it very gory, but it's not like it just doesn't seem very authentic, right?
Yeah.
The only movie in the last 20 years that I've seen that kind of gave me that oh shit, right, was like Final Destination, because I thought again that shit might happen, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like to
And
this
they're all
day,
really plausible scenarios because they're everyday activities.
right? To this day, I can't drive behind a truck with logs.
No, I thought about
A
that
whole generation.
this weekend when I was driving. I thought about that exact same thing. I was like, how many people do not ride behind a truck
Right.
that
Steven,
has tree trunks on it because of that movie?
Oh, yeah.
so Steven said, and I agree, Stephen King's It. That was a good one as well.
Yes.
That is a good one. Theo replying to
series. They just came out with a series too.
Theo replying to Leanne, Care Bears could be a horror movie if done right. I agree.
Could be. Could
True.
be.
Very true.
Theo said, no lie, when I was a kid, my dad made me watch a movie about the rapture. He told me to go get something from upstairs after the movie. When I came down, he had the whole family hide. I thought everyone was raptured without me. So I put on porn and got in trouble.
The question was, he's saying when he was a kid, was it actual porn or was it Skinamax?
So, yeah, Skinaflix.
Listen, back in the days, that's all you needed.
Right?
Yeah.
This is fair. This is a good point.
That's it.
Back when y'all were kids, what are you talking about? Y'all didn't have Skinaflix. Y'all didn't even have cable. Y'all had JCPenney catalogs. Let's be real. Y'all need to stop lying.
Facts.
Steven said, I watched that episode 1 of this series. I was actually going to watch it tonight. That's actually pretty cool.
I watched last night. It was pretty good. It was. I'd have to say I'm excited to see the second one, which usually I can tell if I like a series or not. So far I'm pretty impressed with it.
I'm spoiled now, right? Like I'm just spoiled now. First world problems. I'd rather wait for the whole series, the season to come out.
Yes, that is an issue.
I refuse to wait another week. I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
So Quentin, your inspirations. What would be your top 3 inspirations behind your movies, well, as far as producers?
I think really is just telling a good story, but also telling a good story that's visually appealing. I'm a photographer as well.
Amazing photographer.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
Very, very talented.
I think, in my opinion, movies are important. Art is important, and I think movies, film, TV is a lot more important than people give it credit to. So if I can help inspire other people to put things out there that aren't only entertainment, but ask you certain questions that may sometimes be uncomfortable, and then also potentially change somebody's life and say, well, you know what? Okay, I'm not alone. That's my inspiration, is just doing art, making a difference, entertaining people, but telling a good story and being visually appealing. You know, I think there's a lot of great films out there, and there's a lot of great TV shows out there, but it's hard to find those now because I think there's a lot of, I don't want to say junk, but there's a lot of things out there that are higher production, higher produced. They've got money to promote it. They've got all this, and it kind of leaves you feeling after you watch it a little bit you know, it's like, no, okay, I don't have anything. I don't feel anything from that. So my inspiration with making movies and producing is just kind of getting back to that, to where you walk out of that theater or whatever, and you just feel like you can't shake what you watched, and you keep thinking about it for a day, and then you feel like you want to go and discuss it with your friends. I want to make movies great again, you know.
I love that.
That's what I want to do. Yeah, and I've got a great team. I've got a great team of filmmakers that I work with out here in Macau, and I've got a great team of filmmakers in the UK that I work with. And I also have a great team of filmmakers that I also work with in the US, that I've produced a couple films that should be coming out fairly soon, probably on video on demand somewhere in the United States. One is a comedy, and then one is another horror film. So, you know, I putting good quality stuff out, isn't it? That's what I want to do, and inspire people.
And I like that you're, you know, taking real world situations like social media, for instance. You take a host who's a narcissist, which generally when you're doing stuff like this, there are some narcissistic tendencies. Let's not lie. You have to put yourself out there. And how much do you put out there? How much do you invite people into your lives? And what can come from it when doing so? You can get like those crazy obsessed fans.
Oh yeah.
And get chopped up.
It's a strange business that I found myself in, because, you know, I'm a bit older now, which is great. And I definitely can understand how people getting into the business, whether producing, acting, or directing, can get kind of sucked into all this, particularly if you're younger. So it's a balance, you know. But I think anything that you do in life, whether it's entertainment industry or it's working at a hospital or law enforcement or military, is just, you know, seeing the bigger picture in what you do, and keeping yourself grounded. You know, I had this conversation, kind of a slightly off topic from the horror film, but I think it goes back into this. My horror film particularly is, you know, the world is it's in a strange place right now, and you know, empathy is lacking. Beth and I had this conversation just yesterday, and I think films like The Blade Cuts Deeper, I hope, will kind of flip that switch in people's mind after they watch it and say, well, okay, you know, it's not always black and white with everything that goes on in life. You know, I think things are a lot more of a gray area. And so if I can be a part of that and help change people's mindsets, not only with this film or with other films that I do, then I'm very, very happy. And I think my producers that I work with, I think, you know, they are too. And it's inherently about the art and doing what we love to do, which is being on movie sets and telling a story. But for me specifically, it's also more than that.
Yeah.
All right, Quentin, we're gonna have to cut you off there. I do need to pay the bills real quick, and then looking at the time, we need to move on to Ask Jodi and Bad News Advice.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll make this a little quick. Sorry, got interrupted. We'll make this a little quick. For those of you who enjoy drinking the coffee, want to get your caffeine going, head over to Arrow Resupply Coffee. They've got some great coffees, great teas, great gear. They're a veteran-owned business based out of Virginia, built from the ground up by U.S. Army veteran. Use the promo code Smokin N Jokin 365 ! And it'll get you 20% off, and proceeds from the sale will go to helping support the show.
And also, it will help us. We're trying to win them over to be our sponsors. So all the support you guys give us will help us with that.
Exactly. We're trying to get over to Spotify and iTunes and all that. So the more help we can get, the better. For those of you who enjoy our particular brand of humor, head over to Crown Eater's Wife 1775 on Facebook. You'll get your military humor, your dark, your inappropriate, your explicit. And so, you know, we kind of specialize in anything we can do to put a smile on your face. keep from going to the dark areas and becoming part of the 22s, you know, what we look to do. If you'd like to check out some of our gear, you can head over to CW1775.org, click on shop, and I cannot get this mic to cooperate. I even downloaded there we go. Click on shop, and you can check out some of the t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, ball caps, hoodies. That we've got for sale there. All proceeds go towards helping us finish off our 501c and helping other veterans. Those of you looking to spark conversations on breaking the stigma of mental health issues and PTSD, head over to Etsy. Check out Mental Warrior 22. Lex and his broke bestie have designed all the shirts and gear that you see on there. Any support and love you can show them would be greatly appreciated. All right.
All right. So now it is Ask Jodi.
Bum bum bum.
All right. So our first question tonight, Jodi, is Jodi, my ex says they've changed, but the only thing that changed is the person they're cheating with. Should I give them another shot or just send them a thank you card to the next victim?
Sure. Give them another shot. Like, are you shooting at them? Because the only shot you should give them is staying the hell away from them. If they're already cheating on the next person, then obviously they're not going to change. They just got better at lying about it. So I would send a thank you note, right? Congratulations. You're the next emotional support human.
Right. Yeah. I mean, the fact that it said cheating again. So this is not first, second. This is, we're going on third and fourth. And if I understand things happen, mistakes happen. If somebody has real, honest effort in showing that they, are trying to be better, that's one thing. But when you're going on second, third, basically you're teaching them how to treat you, and that is to cheat on you.
Absolutely. That's just a pattern there. That's it. That's a choice, right? Yeah. That became his or hers secondary MOS right there. That's their job. So
Exactly.
I'd say if you're a woman, go buy a big dildo. If you're a man, get yourself a fleshlight and kick that person to the curb. Enjoy yourself for a little bit.
There you go. Exactly. Love on yourself.
You ain't gonna cheat on yourself.
That's it.
Exactly. All right. So question 2. Hey, Jodi, my partner said they needed space. So I gave them space by moving their stuff outside. Was that toxic or just good communication?
No, I think that's perfect communication, right? It's not toxic, right? That's closure with a curb appeal, right? That's they said they needed space, right? So listen, I decided to rearrange my furniture. That's spring cleaning for me.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. You need space. Listen, take all the time you need over there.
I mean, I think there's times where people need space before they move in together, of course. So that right there. But if like you're dating, you say, hey, I just need a little space right now, to get myself together to be where I want to be, that's fine. But I'm going to do what I want to do while you're taking your time.
Listen, if you're with me and you tell me you need space, I'm assuming you need an extra drawer in the dresser or space in the closet. Any other space from that, listen, just
just keep moving. All right.
That goes back to question number 1, right? Your shit's gonna be out there in the curb. So, right?
Yeah.
Keep going.
All right, let's see. Question number 3. Jodi, my situationship keeps saying they don't want a relationship, yet they do couple things like argue, share Netflix, and ruin my peace. Is this love, trauma bonding, or a free trial of hell? I think trauma bonding and free trial of hell.
Listen, I am heavy on the whenever I meet certain people, they're on a 7-day free trial. Until I see their certain level of crazy and stuff. This is a 7-day free trial of like heartbreak with automatic renewals and stuff. I don't have time for that, right? You better cancel that shit before the argument starts all over again, because if that isn't showing you what the rest of your life is gonna look like.
Well, I mean, if it's a situationship, there shouldn't be Netflix sharing of passwords and, all this relationship stuff. You can't have a relationship and, still think you can just do whatever.
Right. But some people, unfortunately, listen, they call it what it is, right? But they want all the benefits that come with it.
Right.
Right. So
That's not you're not getting the benefits of it. Like, trust me, I am not against the situationship. Jimmy was a situationship. Jimmy was just fuck buddy, yeah.
Jimmy had one leg up on the competition, though.
Right. Years later, look at us now. So I don't knock.
It's one of those things where
I don't knock.
I could change the saying. I got to go stump date.
All right. Well, that's all the questions I had for you, Jodi. Do we have any bad news advice? And Quentin, let's explain what bad news advice is, but Quentin is fully aware.
Before we get to that, we need to catch up on some of the comments. I've been trying to flash some of them across the screen, but
there's a bunch, isn't there? I can't see.
So we go back all the way. I mean, I'm gonna go back to where Leanne was talking about. She had brothers that would scramble Cinemax for hours. I don't know about anywhere else, but like growing up in New York, where you had the cable boxes, like we will always jailbreak those. So you had so we would always have that, or we just tap into the neighbor's line.
Are you talking about the brown Comcast boxes?
Yes.
Yeah.
So Danielle was talking about old Playboys with the bush. Gotta respect the classics, right? So let me see, Theo. The problem with a lot of horror movies nowadays is that the new monsters look like they got implants. Let me see. All right. Leanne was mentioning if they cheated with you, they will cheat on you.
Yeah.
Yes and no. I'm a strong believer that that guys are going to be guys, same as girls. But it only takes the right woman, right, to change a man. Only one woman can change a man. And until that right woman comes along, he ain't going to change. But some people just get caught up in that pattern. Theo.
Jimmy and I were married, but we were both in the middle of our divorces. So we could be considered cheaters.
Listen, that is standard military. That's standard military. You go from one marriage, and before that one finalizes, or the day after, you get married to someone else. Clearly,
I was at his divorce, and his wife wasn't.
Listen, we're gonna do a whole nother segment just on YouTube.
You're gonna do more than a segment.
So Theo said they never loved you if they caught you cheating the first time. Steven said send the next victim a bag of dicks with a card from Walmart. I agree.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one, Steven. I need you for my petty segments.
So Danielle said just unsubscribe on the relationship, but keep the passwords.
Ooh, there you go.
Leanne, when we lived in Guam, I saw my dad climb a freaking telephone pole to acquire cable.
Wow. That's good. That's good. I've seen people steal it from their neighbors and stuff. Once the boxes were done away with, we had to steal it from our neighbors or pay the Comcast guy, because those Comcast guys would take $50 and plug you up for the rest of the time. I don't know how many times I had somebody come out and say, "You aren't supposed to have this." And I'm like, "Really? I didn't know."
We only got a couple minutes left, so we're going to switch up the bad news advice this time. And I guess the three of us are supposed to pitch to Quentin our best movie ideas for Quentin to produce and turn into a movie for us. So since I just sorted that one out, I'll let someone else go first though.
You got a movie, Lex?
Listen, I'm thinking.
Sorry, y'all gonna make me go, so then mine's gonna be the worst. All right, Lex. All right, Quentin. So my movie pitch. I think we should have a bunch of sorority girls. I already won. A bunch of sorority girls, and it's a scavenger hunt, and they have to find all the sex toys. Who has the largest dildo?
Wow. Why don't we go ahead and do a side story in there that involves retarded midgets running around, that they escaped from a zoo as well or something. I don't know.
Hold on.
I can't say those two words anymore, I guess. Retarded and midget.
Hold on. Let me write that down. Hold on.
I love midgets.
Little people are nice, aren't they? They're great.
Ooh, midget wrestling. That's what the horror is based on, is midget wrestling.
Be careful with that, because there's some people out there that probably have a fetish for that as well too, and it might have the opposite effect for them.
Yeah, Theo does.
Theo.
I just want you to make some sort of horror flick about midget zombie strippers.
That may have been done somewhere. I have a feeling there's probably a B horror film or a C horror film out there.
Make it hard R so we don't have to find it on Pornhub.
Right.
Well, you know what? I would say as a producer, why don't we turn that into an N17 or a XXX flick, and that can go, well, I'm so old, I was about to say that could go in the back room of the video store, but I guess video stores don't exist anymore, so it would have to go on xhamster.com. Don't ask me how I know that.
Oh my gosh. Oh wait, I don't know what that is.
Right, sure. All right, bad horror movie. Now I'm stuck on the midgets. I think that can work. I don't think that's a bad idea. How about an exorcism of let's do an exorcism of Karen. So we can get a suburban mom that's possessed by a demon, but no one actually realizes because she just seems normal, always bitching and complaining. Right? I think that could be a stupid horror movie. But that might sell today, so I don't know.
Let me ask you, Lex, who would you pitch to me as an actress in that position?
Yeah, the lead role. Who's the lead role?
Who would be your number one?
Ooh, who would be a good Karen? Yeah. Holy shit.
I know who I pick.
Who?
Scarlett Johansson.
No. I mean, she's hot, but I wouldn't pick her as a
Karen. You need appeal.
Right, but a Karen, I'm trying to remember who's the typical woman you see on the movies most of the time playing that, like.
How about Nurse Jackie?
Yes.
She would be a good Karen.
Yeah. Someone like that.
We laugh about this.
Like
all of these ideas are potential real ideas at a B level.
Yeah.
And it's funny, but
we just need a good
things
producer
like this actually sell, and people actually watch this kind of stuff. So if you're thinking about it from a producing standpoint and making money, these aren't really bad ideas, because there's a market for that out there. There really is. You never know.
Okay, so this show went by so fast, and Quentin, I want to have you back on because I know we really wanted to talk about the ketamine therapy. Like, there's so many different areas that we can talk to you about, and you're so amazing. So again, thank you for coming on. I know it was kind of last minute, so unfortunately, we couldn't promote you the way we want to, but we will continue to promote you. But everybody, check out his new movie,
Blade Cuts Deeper.
The Blade Cuts Deeper. I wanted to say the blade goes in deeper, but
Best Mine is somewhere else. The midgets and the sorority thing and the dildos took over, I think.
that's the Pornhub version. Sorry, it hasn't been released yet. No, The Blade Cuts Deeper. It's on Amazon. Where can you tell them all the places you can check it out and when it's pre-ordered? You
can pre-order the DVD and the Blu-ray now on Amazon.com. I think the DVD is either $19 or $24, and the Blu-ray is $26. It's also available at Barnes and Noble, the Boston Library. You can also pre-order it on Walmart, and there's another website that I don't remember. It should be also streaming next month, I imagine around the same time, around November 18th on Amazon Prime. And we hope that it expands out to other streaming services like Apple, and then hopefully Shudder, which is Shudder is a streaming service that deals mostly with horror films. So if you do have Shudder and you're a horror film fan, wish us luck. Hopefully we can get on that. And please give us, let us know if you like the film, whether you dislike it or you like it. We need those reviews and those ratings. So you're not going to hurt our feelings. So
listen, very quick before we go. Theo wanted to mention that it was P. Diddy and R. Kelly. That would be a horror movie. Karen-ism, that would be the name of the movie. Patricia said Sandra Bullock. Someone mentioned Bette Midler. But
Lexi said Blake Lively, and I love that because that girl's hot. Sorry.
And Sweet Marley, thanks for joining us.
Theo said, how about a slave horror movie where the slave has a BDSM fetish and keeps getting caught to the other slaves?
So he gets beaten.
I can't read while leaning forward that well.
Oh no.
Oh wow, I mean,
I love it. With them.
Canceled pretty quickly, I think, in this.
Yeah, I think you'll be picking it.
Hey, that's what we're here for. Let's push those boundaries. That's it. Listen, midgets need jobs. Let's bring them back, and let's make this happen too.
Yeah, it's been a long time since.
Absolutely. It's time that the to be serious for just 1 second. It's time that the entertainment industry gets back to doing what it used to do well, which was just tell stories that had that nobody worried about offending people and whatnot, whether it's comedy and I think we're getting back to that. So we're self-correcting now, but I know myself as a producer and a filmmaker and my friends, we're about pushing those envelopes. So you're not going to see us turn woke. That's for sure.
That's awesome. That's perfect. Well, again, thank you for coming on the show, and thank you for everybody who came and joined us. We will be back next week, Wednesday at 9:00. We love you guys.
Love you all. Thanks for joining us in the Smoke Pit.
Thank you guys. Thank you so much. Please check out The Blade, and on Netflix streaming now, the Ballad of a Small Player. Unfortunately, my scenes got cut, but I am in the credits at the end, and I'm right off on the side of the scenes anyways with Colin, so you don't see me, but I'm there.
Yes, I remember seeing the pictures. All right, guys.